Hey all, it's Jeremy here from Soulbound Studios. Welcome to episode 3 of Inside Chronicles of Elyria. In the last episode, we spoke about the adjustments we as a studio were making, and how, for now, we're placing our time and resources into the domain, settlement, and land management side of Chronicles of Elyria. In this episode, we're going to talk more about how and why, and what the rest of 2021 looks like for Soulbound Studios. From the beginning, Chronicles of Elyria was designed to provide different player experiences depending upon your interests. While everyone who plays begins life in a settlement, many of you will go on to create your own. For those that do, COE seamlessly blends an MMORPG with a colony or settlement sim. You'll have both player and NPC citizens you'll have to care for and keep happy, resources you must balance, and changing conditions in which to respond to. But most importantly, you'll need to attract citizens with the necessary skills to your settlement to help it thrive, and the only way to do that is to recruit them from other settlements. If all goes well, you may find yourself in a position to contest a noble title and take ownership of a county, duchy, or kingdom. At this point, COE incorporates mechanics typically found in grand strategy games. You'll be responsible for selling land to others, awarding titles, creating laws, managing trade agreements, and of course, defending your titles from enemies both foreign and domestic. So most importantly, you'll need to maintain a positive relationship with your allies, vassals, and liege, many or all of which may be other players. While the integrated colony sim and grand strategy mechanics are there as a layer on top of the MMORPG, we've always been passionate about ensuring they're fun in their own right. The engagement created through player-run settlements and the conflict created through player-run domains is a key part of what makes COE more than a theme park or sandbox MMO, and we want to make sure we get it right. So we've long planned to test these mechanics through an isolated user experience called Kingdoms of Elyria, giving us an opportunity for early player feedback and iteration. And while we've explored options for using a simple web-based interface or something more robust for the front end, the back end has always been the same used for the rest of COE. This concept of same gameplay mechanics and server code, different user experience, is vital to our strategy going forward, and leads us to the next step in our roadmap toward completing Chronicles of Elyria. With that in mind, I'm pleased to reveal that Kingdoms of Elyria is moving from a test-only platform to a fully fledged standalone product, which, being an existing backer reward for Chronicles of Elyria, is being provided free for all COE backers with an Illyrian pledge package or higher, regardless of whether you pledge your support through Kickstarter or our website. And I can't stress this enough. Development on Kingdoms of Elyria doesn't prevent development on COE. Quite the opposite. They're the same. All engineering work and design decisions feed directly into COE's development, and is a necessary step in bringing both aspects of the game together. The systems we're creating in Kingdoms of Elyria will be integrated with COE later down the line, meaning this release provides an opportunity to experience part of Chronicles of Elyria now. Being built with a Unity front end and our proprietary back end, the Soulborn engine, it will include an offline experience as well as a set of persistent online worlds supporting up to 5,000 players on a server, each governing a settlement, county, duchy, or kingdom. Interestingly, our need to use the same code and mechanics as the rest of Chronicles of Elyria leads to some exciting and unique design opportunities, which helps Kingdoms stand apart from the crowd. First, in Kingdoms of Elyria, one of the citizens is you. You'll navigate your player's citizen around your settlement and world map to gather resources, interact with buildings and other citizens, sign agreements with neighboring aristocrats, and more. This is an especially dangerous element of the game, because whether your player's citizen dies in a hunting accident, en route to another settlement, or stabbed in the back at a local tavern, if your player's citizen dies and you don't have an heir, your game's over and you'll need to start again. Second, although citizens of your settlement are all NPCs in Kingdoms, you won't be able to click on a resource or other target and expect them to follow your instructions. You'll need to entice them by way of contracts. If the citizens don't like your offer, or simply don't like you, they won't help. Finally, Kingdoms doesn't give you instant access to information. Whether you're talking about the opinions, inventory, or attributes of NPCs, or the layout and population of other settlements and domains, if you want information, you'll have to work for it. We'll talk more about the mechanics for gaining information, as well as other design topics in greater detail in future design vlogs. But let's talk about the Kingdoms roadmap for a moment. Kingdoms of Elyria is being released in 4 stages. The first stage, which is planned for release late this year, consists solely of the colony sim and settlement management mechanics. The focus will be on keeping your citizens alive and happy, as you grow from a hamlet to a large capital-sized settlement. In this mode, you can start, stop, fast forward, or restart a new game whenever you want on procedurally generated maps made up of a subset of the COE starting biomes. Additionally, we know there will be 4 opportunities to alpha test this stage of development, the first of which is coming up in just a few months. More information is being provided on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th stages of development in an accompanying blog post. Our intention when we started Soulbound Studios was to enrich people's lives, developing experiences that fuel imagination and provide accessible, engaging, and meaningful interaction through entertainment and technology. And while it's true we fell down last year, we've picked ourselves up, have a plan in place for the future, and myself, as well as our former lead designer, lead 3D artist, sound engineer, and composer are passionately moving forward. Future episodes of Inside Chronicles of Elyria will, for now, be focused entirely on discussing and demonstrating the status of kingdoms. And those upcoming design journals we keep mentioning will contain more info on what to expect from Kingdoms of Elyria and its relationship to COE. So make sure to follow along with development in our upcoming design blogs. And of course, stay tuned for our next episode of Inside Chronicles of Elyria. As always, if you have questions or feedback on these videos, don't hesitate to reach out at insidecoe@soulboundstudios.com. This is Jeremy Walsh from Soulbound Studios, and we'll see you next time.